Alright, in the meanwhile it is nearly 10 o'clock. Ralph took off already and he is heading east again. And I'm going to a place called Ivanhoe's Crossing and from there make my way towards Gib River Road. Now I will be going into town first to get some food, some supplies, etc, etc. Get some petrol, probably get a coffee there and then start riding for today. Now I am about to take off and I am still in Kunanurra. Today I'm going to go and do this dirt road and that will get me past a place called Ivanhoe, and there's a cool water crossing I am going to have to do there. I'm very looking forward to that. Now then I will be taking the road up towards Windham, nearly up towards Windham, and then go west from there and I'll go to a place called the Digger's Rest, which is there. It's an old cattle station, a cow farm. Now from the Digger's Rest there is a four-wheel drive track going back to the Pentecost River crossing, which is there, and from there on my adventure on the Gib River Road starts. Alright, ready to rumble. Now that new front wheel gives me a lot of new grip. That is lovely. I'm just a bit worried about that rim. So while replacing my tire yesterday I found out that my front rim was cracked on both sides of the rim. So I ended up, Ralph brought me to a welding shop on his bike and they ended up welding it. Cost me a couple $100, and I mean I just hope that it's going to stay alive. Like I'm gonna check it every couple of hours just to be able to identify if something goes wrong, because if it cracks instantaneously your your front wheel is tensioned, and if that tension all of a sudden breaks, then the wheel collapses and that can end up pretty shit. Oh man, I didn't ride yesterday and after a day of not riding it feels so good to fire up the bike again. Now the first time I arrived in Kunanurra I wanted to get some beers. I was staying here for a couple of days and a Friday or Saturday afternoon I thought let's get some beers and let's do a drink. I arrived at the liquor store and they didn't want to sell me any beers, or not full strength beers. I said why is that? You keep them in stock. And apparently some indigenous person in town got stabbed and there was a big fight in between the indigenous, and the government's response to that was shutting the pubs down for the rest of the weekend and not selling full strength beer. Only 3% beer was allowed and 1 bottle of wine per person. Like, the approach of the government is so weird sometimes. Now let's get some petrol. Alright. Now, so I managed to put in 27 liters of fuel there, and that was in between the 2 jerry cans and the petrol tank, but the petrol wasn't fully empty at all. So a big load of petrol should get me going again. Alright. Now I am looking forward to Ivanhoe Crossing. It is meant to be a pretty good causeway and pretty easy to cross, but it's just, I've spoken to a biker a couple of days ago and he told me it is quite fast flowing. So I'll have to see how that goes. But yeah, it's only 10 minutes of riding and then I'm there already. Alright, Now I will soon be arriving at the Ivanhoe River crossing. And I'm very curious what it looks like. I'm gonna have a look first, maybe walk it if there's no crocodiles. Be croc-wise, the sign says. Croc danger is real, don't risk your life. Hazardous. Now, let's have a look. Ah, there's people there already, that's nice. If something were to go wrong, I'm not alone. Let's see if we can do it. It is fast flowing, whoa. Now I'm at Ivanhoe's crossing and the water is fast flowing and it looks a bit deep, but I'm gonna attempt to cross the river. So yeah, let's gear up and go. Adrenaline through the roof. Let's have a crack at this. All right. So the water is definitely getting deeper here. And my feet are terribly wet. But I have decided to take it very slow. I can feel the rear wheel just slipping aside because of the speed of the water flow. Ah, it's deep. Nice. Alright, that's one section of crossing done. Now the other one. And now, then we are through completely. Oh. Nice. That wasn't hard at all. Not even for a second. I am drenched in sweat, but probably the main reason for that is just you get so much adrenaline doing these crossings. Like, I don't know if I've said it before, but like doing a river crossing in the south of Australia would be way different, because you still get the risk of drowning your motorbike, which is pretty shit. But out here in the northern sections of the Northern Territory, Queensland, Western Australia, you've got the risk of crocodiles. So drowning your motorbike might be shit, but drowning it and then getting eaten alive by a crocodile, that's worse.
I've been trying to reveal it, what I've been so afraid of. Your coldness makes my heart go weak, so numb that I can barely speak. This pain keeps water in the sea. If I weren't so desperate to be free, I'd keep my distance, babe. The more that I know about you, the more that I want you, baby. They say that good love will yield the best from me. I know it too
I've got a little section of bitumen to go. Won't be long until I hit the dirt again. Now I'm just gonna have to make one phone call to check if a certain track is open, and then we'll head into the sticks again. I've got food for the next 4 days, about 10 liters of water and purifying tablets if I have to. So but it isn't that remote here at all. It is remote. Take a look at that, there's a huge lake over there. One big problem is that the road that I am supposed to take, it looks like as if that is going right through that lake. Now there I am, the King River Road. Diggers Rest Station, 37 kilometers. Now, as you can see, I have stopped riding for a moment. I am sitting behind my bike, trying to get some shade. And I have made it to the turnoff to the Diggers Rest Station. Now, from here on, it's about 37 kilometers of dirt road till I reach the station. And I will then start doing a trek. A four-wheel drive track called the Kurunji track. Now this is a four-wheel drive track that leads me back to the Gib River Road. It's about 80 kilometers and I just run ahead and I've been told that the track is passable, as in the water of the rivers isn't too deep. So that's good news. Now this track will take me across some mud plains. I think it goes west of the Cockburn Ranges. So I'm very curious to see what the country looks like there. And yeah, let's just start riding and figure it out. Now, let's get going. So, what you're about to see now is called a mudplain. And from the road, this mudplain, that's this, looked very much as if it was a lake. Now, this is the road, but who would I be if I wouldn't try to off-road? Instead of taking the road that leads me there to the range and then that way, I thought I might just scoot over the mudplain itself and take a little shortcut.
The depth of your love is a sin. I'll keep my distance, babe. It's all by design, blinded in the fog of love. Why don't you tell me?
Now I just come across a sign that says cave paintings, so I'm curious. I'm gonna have a look there. Hey, I want to know that. Yeah, do you know?
It said 600 meters. So.
Yeah, there's a road going in there, but I'm not sure if it's that. But the road continues that way as well.
Yeah, I think this is more than 600 meters now.
Yeah. Cave paintings. Ah, that might not be a road. I think these are the cave paintings, the sign said. Yeah, and I thought that'd be more of paintings left and remaining.
Yeah, different areas have different, you know, like Carnarvon Gorge in Queensland have got quite a bit still, and I think some of the caves in New South Wales and some of the places are better. It just depends where you go.
They're very much faded away though.
Yeah.
So I'm going to continue and go to the prison tree, and there is a cool story behind that. Now immediately after I take a stop with the bike, it feels like heaven to start riding again. It is so warm today. Sweat is just gushing out of me. Now I'm going to take a look at something that's called the prison tree. And oh, that is the prison tree there. Now I'm going to tell you about it. But first I'm going to park up the motorbike. I'm standing at the Hillgrove Lockup Prison Tree. Now this is a boab tree and it's got a very interesting story behind it. These trees are hollow from the inside and this particular tree was used to lock up Aboriginal prisoners. In the late 1890s and 1920s, a police officer would go every dry season to several towns to collect prisoners. Now these prisoners were escorted back to Wyndham, where the courthouse used to be, and they would be escorted in chains. Now this would have been the last stop before they made it to Wyndham, which is one of the bigger towns in the area at the time. And this would have been their last stop, their last night before they got to jail and had to await trial there. So it's a very, very tree full of history. Look at the ranges in the background. I'll go to the end of this road and then see what that track looks like. Now, I have arrived at the beginning of the trek and I have realized that I am not going to make this to the end of the trek today, which is not bad. So I just camp somewhere along the track and make a fire. But yeah, it's about 3 o'clock now, sun sets at 3:30 and there is no way I'm going to get through this trek in 2.5 hours or in 2 hours. And this is an unmaintained four-wheel drive track, so I would not be surprised if there is going to be some crashing as well. And then I am a little bit further on the track and there is a gate. So I cannot do the track. I'm going to find if there's a way around the gate. I thought there was something going there to something there. For a minute it looked like a gate, but I realize it isn't the gate. Alright, for a second I thought that I found myself a way around the gate, but I did not. So I will turn the bike around, go back to the track and see if there's any other bypass roads or anything like that. Otherwise it's just going to be returning back to the main road and finding another way back to the Gip River Road. Unfortunately, I was really looking forward to this. Now, if I am not able to do the trek with the locked gate, I will go do the Kurunji trek, stock route, and the entrance looks like this. This one isn't locked, but I will go to that to that station first, which is just down this road. I can see the gate already, and ask some local advice there. Now, I have just spoken to the lady who lives at the cattle station, and I have gotten some advice about the road. I'm glad that I checked in on her. So this road that I wanted to take, the one with the gate, that is on private property now and has been locked for over 10 years. So that is not an option anymore to do that trek. Before I entered this station, I came across a stock route. Now the lady told me that that one leads back to the Gip River Road as well. And that one is open. It's about 80 kilometers, takes 5 hours, she said. She said to be very careful though, because 2 years ago a motorcyclist died over there. So I'm going to go back to Windham now, because I do not have any phone reception, and I also have used about 40% of my water. I'm going to go back to the town of Windham, and in Windham I'm going to fill up my water and make sure everything is ready. Do one last check of the tires, make sure I've got phone reception, so I can tell someone where I'm going and what I'm going to do. And then tomorrow morning I'm going to take off early from Windham and do that stock route, and then hopefully at midday I will make it through and arrive safely at the Gip River Road. That's the plan for now. So I'm gonna backtrack to Windham. Takes me about 45 minutes, and then we'll take it from there. This will be the challenge of tomorrow, the Kurunji trek. I'm gonna have a chat to these people. Hi mate!
How are ya?
Yeah, good. How about yourself?
Yeah, good.
You guys heading in?
Wow.
So is that going to Diggers Rest?
No, Diggers Rest is to the right.
What way can you get through to...
So if you want to go to the Gip River Road, which is what I'm gonna do as well, is take this trek. It's 80 kilometers, rough as guts, she said.
Like you're well set up anyway.
I've got lots of water, but I've been riding the whole day, and I drank half of my water. So I'm gonna head back to Windham, fill up with water, and then do this in the morning.
True.
You guys heading in now?
Is that Diggers Rest that way then, is it?
Yes.
And that's the main road to...
That, well, it's a stock route.
Okay.
But that goes back to the Gip, and it meets the Gip River Road at the Pentecost crossing.
Right.
Well, good luck.
Yeah, you too, mate. Enjoy your trip.
If you're heading in, I'm taking off tomorrow early from Windham. So if you do get stuck, you'll be found. All right.
Right.
Have a good trip.
If you like my video, let me know, like, share and subscribe.